Oh boy, yeah. We're gonna get into some of that. Sanity with AI, my goodness. So, imagine we've got plenty to talk about today. The week we've just had. A lot of news to get to. You make sure all my audio is working. Interesting. Got my mic cranked down a little bit in Zoom again. I don't know why it does that. Bizarre. Okay, we'll try it. Try it right about there. Hopefully that's good. Get our sound up. There we go. And we can get going here. What's Scam Altman talking about? What do we got? Sam Altman says that AI has already caught up on an energy efficiency basis when comparing how much energy it takes to train a human. It takes like 20 years of life and all the food you eat during that time before you get smart.
One of the things that is always unfair in this comparison is people talk about how much energy it takes to train an AI model relative to how much it costs a human to do one inference query. But it also takes a lot of energy to train a human. It takes like 20 years of life and all of the food you eat during that time.
Yeah, but during that time, we're also being productive and, doing things.
Where you get smart.
Building things. Physical, actual, real things.
And not only that, it took like the very widespread evolution of the 100 billion people that have ever lived and learned not to get eaten by predators and learned how to like figure out science and whatever to produce you. And then you took whatever you took. So the fair comparison is if you ask ChatGPT a question, how much energy does it take once its model is trained to answer that question versus a human? And probably AI has already caught up on an energy efficiency basis measured that way. One of the things that is always unfair in this comparison is people talk about how much energy it takes to train an AI.
Creepy.
Is unfair.
Guess there must have been some big event here. I saw Elon Musk speaking too, saying we're in the singularity right now. Let me see if I can find that. I'm actually kind of half inclined to believe it. That we're in the singularity as they call it. At least whatever definition they label it with. I think we're probably in the middle of it. Stuff's it's moving so fast. It's getting faster every day. It's crazy.
You'll have well, one side recommendation I have is don't worry about squirreling money away for retirement in 10 or 20 years. It won't matter.
No.
Okay.
Either we're not going to be here, or
it just it's
what does that mean?
You won't need to save for retirement. If any of the things that we've said are true, saving for retirement will be irrelevant.
the services will be there to support you. You'll have the home.
You'll own nothing, and you'll be happy.
Have the healthcare.
Oh, no, you'll own the home.
Have the entertainment.
The way this unfolds is fundamentally impossible to predict because of self-improvement of the AI and the accelerating timeline.
Yeah, it's called
Any
singularity
solution-
for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know what happens after the event horizon. You know?
Exactly. You can never see past the black hole or the event horizon, the light cone.
I mean, Ray has a singularity out way too far. I mean, this is like the next. What's your timeline for this?
Personally, I think we crossed that threshold years ago.
Singularity.
Well, we are in the singularity for sure.
Yeah.
We're in the midst of it right now for sure.
Yeah.
And it would just
Well,
feels
we're in
flat.
this beautiful sweet spot, which is the
We're the roller coasters. We're just
yeah, exactly. That's a great analogy. It's like that feeling
you're at the top of the roller coaster and you're about to go.
Yeah, but it's going to be a lot of G's when you
Yeah, a lot of
when you
Gs.
hit it.
Yeah. It's like feel like I don't have to just have courtside seats. I'm on the court.
Exactly.
And it still blows my mind. Sometimes multiple times a week.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
just when I think I'm like, wow, and then it's like 2 days later, more wow.
Yeah. Exponential wow.
Yeah, I gotta say, I find myself thinking multiple times a day lately, like, what are the damn odds that I end up living in this time, like the time in history of the universe or human history, even. It just happens to be the time when we're charging like head on into the singularity. Creating a super intelligence. Ugh. No, I hate that word, but it is what we're doing. Then it makes you wonder about like whether any of this is even real. Like, is this is this all just a big simulation from some future civilization trying to figure out what went wrong at the threshold of the singularity? Are they just simulating over and over again what happened, trying to figure out what fucked everything up? Like, is that all this is? I'm just like a I'm just the computer program, like running through the cycle over and over and over again. Kind of what it feels like, to be honest. In an odd way. I do kind of feel like I've been here before. It's weird.
Well, one like side recommendation I have is like,
Related, Ilya Sutskever has said the era of scaling and making bigger models make improvements is nearly over. Is that something you agree with?
No, I don't agree. I think his exact quote was that we're back to the age of research. But you know, I love Ilya, and we're very good friends, and we agree on a lot of things. But my view is we never left the age of research, at least from the point of view of DeepMind. We've always invested. In my view, we've always had the deepest and broadest bench. Actually, Google and DeepMind together, if you look over the last decade, we've invented about.
It is pretty weird to think about. I mean, you got all these like cultural touchstones, all within the span of just like a couple years, like The Matrix and whatnot. There were a bunch of others too. Similar storylines. Ready Player One. Just kind of planting the idea in people's minds. Weird.
90% of the breakthroughs that, you know, the modern industry relies on. I think, of course, transformers most famously, but also, you know, deep reinforcement learning, AlphaGo, these kinds of reinforcement learning techniques. We pioneered all of that. So if some new breakthroughs are required in the future, I would back us to be the ones, just like in the past, to be the ones to make those breakthroughs, you know, in the future.
Last agree or disagree. Elon says we have entered the singularity.
No, I think that's very premature. You know, I think the singularity is another word for, you know, a full AGI arriving. And I think I explained earlier why I think that we're still, you know, nowhere near that. I think we will get there. And, you know, 5 years, even 5 years is not a long amount of time if you think about what that is. But I think there's still a lot of work to be done before we have anything that looks like the singularity.
I suppose that kind of depends on what you define it as. Like, where's the threshold? Is it when the tech is first invented that gets us there, or is it after it's, you know, achieved worldwide adoption? Is it like, what is it? I don't know. Creepy stuff. Fascinating too. Yeah, there he is. In the beginning of the Singularity, he says, just a week ago or so. Says this year is it. It's going to be this year, 2026. We'll see. I mean, things are getting crazy. They're getting crazy, man. Like, I'm toying with it myself. Like, I'm playing with this stuff myself, and it's blowing my mind. I got this little guy here. There we go. And I can chat with these things. I got state-of-the-art models here. Like this thing is apparently tip-top. Like way up there. Able to run on my computer. And I can use it to run like this is the thing that really blew my mind. This OpenClaw stuff is just nuts. If you haven't seen this all over the place lately, you probably will soon. It's exploding through the tech nerd circles right now. And basically what it is an AI, a program that allows AI models to have direct control of a computer. Like root access, like they can do anything. Like they can delete files, make files, build them, organize them, surf the internet, open a browser, go to a website, create a report, pull a bunch of research, all automated, all on your computer. This is like the first, like up until this point, it's just been kind of like chatting with little chatbots that can respond to you and have a cute little conversation, maybe feed you some useful information, which is handy, but it's not like after the initial like, oh, that's pretty cool, kind of like wears off. It's kind of like, oh, what good is that? I mean, yeah, you can replace the shitty Indian call line people that suck at their job and can't do anything when you call customer service with, you know, probably a robot that'll do the same thing. I guess you could do that, but like, where's the promise of the premise? Like, where's the goods? This is the goods. It's like, This is the thing that is like kind of making it click in both a fascinating and exciting and also really scary kind of way. But like think about what that could do, having a ridiculously powerful, intelligent, quote unquote, AI that's able to just run your computer. Or, you know, 10 computers. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Look at this. Hold on. Give me some of the ones with some use cases here.
Everyone is talking about OpenClaw right now, and I keep seeing the same question. What is it, and what does it actually do? In this video, I'll break it down so it's easy to understand, I'll explain why it's popular, and what it does that most AI tools don't. And by the end, you'll know if it's something you should set up, and where to start. So let's start with
this thing is about to, like, change the way that the entire world works. It's that crazy.
Basics. What even is OpenClaw? OpenClaw is a self-hosted AI assistant you run on your own machine or VPS. And to actually power it, you connect it to an AI model like OpenAI or Anthropic using API keys. Now that sounds great, but let me show you what it actually looks like in real life. In most cases, the pattern is always the same. First, you install a skill, then you create a scheduled job for your assistant to perform, then your OpenClaw assistant performs the job and delivers you the result. For example, let's say I connect my Gmail account to OpenClaw by using a Google Workspace skill. Then I create this job. Ping me on Telegram when this specific client emails me. Include a one-sentence summary and a suggested reply. Now, instead of digging through my email inbox and potentially missing an email from a high-value client, I just get the summarized message when it actually matters for my assistant. Now let's say I connect a GitHub skill to OpenClaw. Then I create the job. Every morning at 9 a.m., send me the top 3 things in my repositories that need attention and tell me what I should.
It's basically it's going to start filling the role of low-level employees. This is the beginning of the end for people who do like low-tier jobs. This is it. Like I've seen what this can do, and I'm just through watching all this stuff, and I'm in the midst of setting it up myself on my own shit, just because I gotta play with this. I gotta see where this is going. This is about to change the world for better or worse. Scary. It's scary stuff, I gotta say. It's also again like ridiculously fascinating and possibly exciting in some ways. I could think of like endless ways I could use this, you know, like starting any number of little miniature businesses that just run themselves. That's where that's going to go. But yeah, at the same time, it's like you gotta always gotta be in your mind, like what this is, where this is going to go. The much talked about beast system, as people like to call it these days, kind of looks like what that might look like. Just what I imagine it might look like, possibly. Yeah, creepy stuff. I'm not running it with like Google models, though. I'm running it with my own local stuff because I am not giving them fuckers access to my shit. Okay, I'm just not doing it. If I'm doing it, I'm doing it with something that I own, that I control, that isn't pumping stuff out to the internet. So at least I got that. But yeah, look out for this. This is like, you're going to see this. You're going to see this if you haven't already. You're going to start hearing about it very, very soon. All right. Let's go on to the main pile here. Ooby-dooby-doop-doop. There we go. Trump today participates in an in executive time. Oh, I'm finished. Yeah, I'm full. You can chuck it. Thank you, hon. Sorry. Where were we here? Noon. In town pool call time. Policy meeting. Policy meeting. And then a dinner. Oh yeah, the governor's dinner. Okay. I know. You know that's yeah. I see Kathy Hobbs in YouTube chat saying AI seems to be smarter than my doctor. as scary as a lot of it can be, there are, like, without question, major upsides. That's one of them. I feel your pain. My doctors are retards. They're like, I feel like I could do their job better than they do. Like with Google. Just me and Google and a laptop. I could probably do better than them. They don't give a shit about anyone they see. They just care about pumping people in and out the door as fast as possible. That's if you even get in there to begin with. You talk just for hours at these people. Doesn't matter what you say, how you describe your problem. They won't care. They won't care. They won't give a shit. And they won't actually look into it. They won't try to investigate it. They won't try to solve your problem. Whatever health issue you're having, they will just look for like this shortest path to getting you the fuck out. And as long as you pay the bill on the way out, or Medicaid pays the bill on the way out, or whoever it is. It's disgusting. It's become of our excuse for a medical system. It used to be so good too. Like I remember when I was a kid, nothing like this. When I was in my early teens, late teens, it was still just fine. It was quite good. None of this insane waiting like months for a fucking dermatologist appointment. Only to see a dermatologist that doesn't give a flying fuck about you or what's going on with you, and just like turns you out the door having done nothing for you. Like I've experienced this like half a dozen times with dermatology alone. Out of control. So I feel your pain. And I think it's probably gonna help stuff like that. So I guess it's not all bad. It's really, I guess, about who's wielding the stick, isn't it? All right, leftist judges in Virginia tried appointing a U.S. attorney in place of President Trump's pick. That's right. But then Deputy AG Blanche said, nope, you can't do that, and they're fired. They're playing the game. It's funny. If the courts want to screw with them, fine. They'll screw right back. So this is after. So I guess the judge was trying to appoint this guy to replace the vacant spot left by Lindsay Halligan after she was removed by the judge. So now they try to stick their guy in there, of course. And Blanche and Team Trump are just shutting it down, not having it. It was an interesting game to watch. Scavino saying, check your email, Don. Don Kinsella, former federal prosecutor. Fox News has obtained information that directly contradicts the Biden admin's claim that it had nothing to do with DOJ's raid on Mar-a-Lago. Oh. Yeah, they did swear that up and down.
Breaking tonight, a Fox News exclusive. We have new information that appears to directly contradict the Biden administration's insistence it had nothing to do with the Justice Department investigations into then former President Trump's alleged retention of classified material and the subsequent raid on his Mar-a-Lago home. Correspondent David Spunt has details tonight. Good evening, David.
Brett, good evening to you. These emails obtained by Fox News paint a different picture of the relationship between the Biden White House and the Biden Justice Department. These two offices made it clear at the time, at least publicly, they were not connected and stayed away from any political interference. However, new emails obtained by Fox News from May 2022, 3 months before Mar-a-Lago was raided by the FBI, illustrates coordination between the White House counsel's office and the DOJ regarding an interview of Walt Nauta. Now, remember, Walt Nauta is a current White House aide to President Trump, who was then former President Trump's aide in Florida. Nauta was later charged alongside Trump by special counsel Jack Smith. The May 10th, 2022 email reads in part, coordination with DOJ and White House counsel are in work to start the process to confirm and interview current administration employee Walt Nauta. This event is dependent upon the timeline of President Biden's brief decision and coordination between White House counsel and DOJ, and in turn, Evan Corcoran's position on the override of privilege assertion and whether or not he seeks an injunction to prevent access. That was written by an FBI agent, and Evan Corcoran, of course, one of Trump's lawyers at the time. This coming August, Brett, will mark 4 years since FBI agents raided Mar-a-Lago. A few days after that, then Attorney General Merrick Garland said this.
I personally approved the decision to seek a search warrant in this matter. Second, the department does not take such a decision lightly.
And we're getting new reaction to these emails. Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan in the House says in part, it's always worse than we thought. These newly released documents confirm that the Biden DOJ's raid on Mar-a-Lago was politically motivated. We're also hearing from Attorney General Pam Bondi. AG Bondi says the more we learn about the DOJ weaponization under the prior administration, the worse the story gets. And Brett, she says this right here. It's a key part. She says we will continue disclosing key evidence to our congressional partners to deliver the truth and bring those who committed crimes to justice. That coming from the Attorney General tonight.
Hey-o.
Brett.
Okay. All right. Why is this business up in my business in the way? I can't see my chats. Here we are. Okay, much better. Doot. Stephen Miller talking about the court decision yesterday.
Supreme Court for a second. Justice Thomas said so brilliantly and eloquently, the language of the statute is clear. Under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, the president has the authority to regulate foreign trade. And going back to the founding of our country, the term regulate has always meant and included the power to levy duties. But here's the good news, Laura. As cowardly, as horrendous as the Supreme Court ruling was, as poorly as it reflects on John Roberts' court and the continued torturing of our statutes and our Constitution, here's the good news. The court also affirmed the president has the authority under Section 301, Section 232, Section 122, Section 338, and many other provisions of federal law that the president can levy tariffs on foreign nations. So his program will not only be fully reconstituted, but it will be expanded. And one more point, Laura. The Supreme Court also affirmed that under IEPA, the president has authority to restrict, impede, deny, license, or even fully embargo any foreign trade. So the net result of all of this is we're going to keep and grow the tariffs to bring back American manufacturing, which keeps prices low by incentivizing products to be made here in America. But it also means that President Trump has even more tools when it comes to dealing with foreign countries that undermine our security.
All right. Oh, we got photos of the cocaine in the White House from all that time ago.
Fox News Alert, Primetime just got exclusive photos of the most famous baggie in America. The cocaine found inside Biden's White House. Years after filing a FOIA, the FBI sent us these never-before-seen pictures of the coke being tested in their lab. But we still don't have an answer to the most basic question, whose is it? Somehow in the most surveilled...
And who did that line?
...building on planet Earth.
Someone did it.
Even after finding DNA on the bag, Secret Service closed the case after just 11 days without any suspects. But FBI Director Kash Patel reopened the investigation, so maybe...
Saw a little 1 gram bag at least. Like...
Maybe this case won't be cold forever.
Biased spies, not based. They're not based. They're biased. CIA rescinds or revises 19 intelligence reports over political bias and bad tradecraft. Yep. Senator McConnell, Chief of Staff, excuse me, Terry Carmack, confirmed to be holding up the SAVE Act. Oh, look, there's his office number. You can call him and tell him what a great job he isn't doing. Targeted attack vandalizes Trump Kennedy Center outdoor ice rink. Forces performance cancellation? The hell, man? Who does this shit? A toxic chemical was poured onto the ice rink? Who pours a chemical onto an ice rink? Honestly, I mean, geez. Well, I don't know what that's all about, but... Wow, there you go. Gross. Looks nasty. Ew. Okay. Trump here last night. What happened today with the two U.S. Supreme Court justices that I appointed against great opposition, Neil Gorsuch and Amy Coney Barrett, whether people like it or not, never seems to happen with Democrats. Yeah, it's true. They walk in lockstep, no matter what. They vote against the Republicans and never against themselves almost every single time, no matter how good a case we have. At least I didn't appoint Roberts, who led the effort to allow foreign countries that have been ripping us off for years to continue to do so, but we won't let it happen. The new tariffs, totally tested and accepted as law, are on their way. He's got another way he's going to cram them in there. It's fantastic. And, you know, when they get that one, he's probably got another one waiting in the wings. And another one behind that. My new hero is the U.S. Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. And of course, oh yeah, Clarence Thomas and Sam Alito. There's no doubt in anyone's mind that they want to make America great again, especially Mr. Thomas, Clarence Thomas. Good man. Chair of the President's Intelligence Advisory Board, Devin Nunes, confirms the raid on Mar-a-Lago was ordered to protect Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. Yep, they were looking for the goods. They weren't looking for what they said they were looking for.
I'm going to try to get out as much of this information and get it declassified as possible.
So you believe that they raided Mar-a-Lago because they were looking for this? They were looking for the intelligence community assessment.
Bingo.
Your report on Russia's influence campaign targeting the 2016 presidential election. That's why they raided Mar-a-Lago.
I believe it had to be one of the things that they were looking for. Because look, that report is pretty damning. If people take the time to read it, it's 45 pages. It spent, we had a dedicated team that spent nearly 2 years down at the CIA looking through this. It was blocked from getting out. And the reason that report is so important, right? That's, let's just dumb it down. Simply put, we went through every single piece of intelligence that existed, and if anything, it was clear that if Putin was going to do anything, he probably wanted Hillary Clinton to win. But in fact, if you just apply a little common sense to it, the fact was that nobody around the world thought that President Trump was going to win in 2016. Same with Vladimir Putin. He didn't either. And so when you go through that, that was the intelligence. Every piece of intelligence that existed we went through it. It's in that report. And what do we know? What do we, after all this, after all, Trump and Russia and collusion, the two people that didn't collude? Trump and Russia.
Uh-huh. Okay. Just in, thousands of parents outraged after kids in public schools walk out in protest of ICE. Or, just to get out of class. At least for the white ones. The brown ones, I mean...
Build our country!
Yeah.
Nobody cares anymore.
Seriously? The world ice is melting?
The world ice is melting! The world ice is melting! The world ice is
The world's ice is melting?
melting! The world ice is melting! The world ice is
Wow, good one.
melting! The world ice is melting! The world ice is melting!
Oh, son of a gun. All right, we gotta scroll. Hold on. I hate when it does that. There we go. Ilhan Omar reveals they went to see illegal alien detainees in Minnesota who were conventionally deported before they got there. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
See any detainees. Thank you. When did you give notice? And I just want to make sure you did not see any detainees.
No, we gave notice 8 days ago. We got confirmation yesterday that we were going to be allowed in, and the last detainee was taken out at 11:30 a.m., 30 minutes before we were set to arrive.
What about the children who were released in T-shirts on Wednesday?
And we also did ask, how many people came through today, which is why it felt convenient that no one was there.
Oh, don't
they
worry,
said,
it'll be your turn soon, Ilan. It's coming.
said 10 when we first got there, and 10 were gone, and then they said there were another 5, and so I circled back and I said, can we go and see the 5 that are here?
She really
Because
wanted to see what she'd be going through.
we have privacy release forms, and they said no,
Just
we
to see
cannot
what awaits her.
permit you to go into the cell to see the detainees. And I said, well, we don't need to go into the cell. We can, put the forms, slide them in, and then we can look through the
Or you
glass.
could fuck off. How about that?
And see what their conditions look like. And then they oohed and ahed for a little bit, and then conveniently, as they were taking us towards the cell, someone said, there's not a single person left, and they took us into an empty
Oh, gee, would you look at that?
cell.
They got reported.
So it's just the timeline and the stories seem very convenient for what they really were working very hard for us not to see and witness. But thank you all.
Somalis in Minneapolis demand, you've got to be kidding me, $200 million in reparations for business closures and community trauma. No. Nope. Not happening, ma'am.
Across Minnesota.
His mouth breather. Look at it.
Fear,
Even close its mouth.
separations, job loss, and severe economic
Literal mouth breather.
by the action of U.S. Immigration and Customer Enforcement, also known as ICE. Also, but that's not it. We must repair the damage by making sure that this is for our governors, for our state, and for our legislators. We want to
Winner
make
of the genetic lottery.
sure that the existing relief programs fits into our criteria of small business owners, not those who make $200,000 and above. We don't make that much amount. We
Well, could have fooled me. Could have fooled me.
have been suffering since the
Y'all
crisis.
driving around in Range Rovers, breaking in cash for your leering centers.
We also demand an immediate help to evictions so families are not pushed to homelessness during the crisis. Our community,
You know what you could do? Go home. You could go home to Somalia, where you belong. Then you wouldn't be homeless.
our community deserves safety. We need also justice for those who lost their
I
lives.
hate these people so much. Feels bad to say that almost, but then I remember what they're like.
defending the community.
They're like this.
Eyes out, families in. Eyes out, small business in.
Eyes out, small business in.
Eyes out, justice in.
Eyes out, justice in.
Thank you so much.
Disgusting. What a mistake. Letting these people ever set foot into this country. Oh, here's another one.
We have suffering sons starting for
How long have you been here? What the fuck did you just say?
We wanna, whoever bring over here, we wanna they be.
What?
Only that's what I'm saying.
What? I can't tell what. I can't tell what you're saying. What the fuck are you saying?
Asking our governor and our state. We are taxpayer. We need to pay back whatever they committed us. Thank you very much.
Disgusting. Guarantee you that thing has been here for like 2 decades. And that's all it can say. That's the extent of its English. That's as far as it goes. Slop. Federal judge holds that a person is entitled to habeas relief if they were arrested by masked ICE agents on 4A, Fourth Amendment, and DP grounds? I don't know. More on this tomorrow. DP? No idea. It's probably something obvious. Okay. Far too many DOJ lawyers sabotaging ICE-related prosecutions. Oh, yeah. Big problem. Detainees simply claim their detention is illegal, and the DOJ says they don't have any counter-argument. And, of course, the judge... What can the judge do but release the alien? Maine has 33 personal care Medicaid agencies operating under Minnesota phone numbers. Oh, gee. Huh. I wonder what's going on there. By the way, that's happening elsewhere too. I found it myself. Found it myself. Here in my area. Connections to Minnesota. People running shit here and in Minnesota. People with addresses and phone numbers in Minnesota. Feds axe New York judge who handed out more asylum claims than any other. Oh, look at it. Look at this critter. Oh, gross. Oh, geez. Judge Vivienne Gordon Uruakpa. Only in New York. Well, at least she's out. Trump approves D.C. emergency declaration. Excuse me. Over Potomac sewage spill. FEMA mobilizes. Good. It's getting bad. It's gross. Gets grosser every day. So. Mike Benz says Trump admin has once in a generation chance to put deep state on defense post Epstein files. Oh, they already are. That much is clear. Benz, who, served in the Trump admin first time around, said there needs to be a much heavier transparency drive in order for much of Trump's MAGA base to turn out to back Republicans in the midterms. Yeah. I think there have been a lot of amazing things this admin has done. Certainly the first 5 months when Elon Musk was here, things were moving at a lightning pace. I think there's been some frustration in the base, when it comes to handling things like the Epstein files and the like. I mean, I don't know. Things have. This last release was the most interesting of the bunch by far. So I think we want more. I don't think that the base would even flirt with voting for Democrats. Yeah, for the most part. But question is, will they turn out? Is their disenchantment enough to sit home? Yeah. Definitely something they need to be worrying about. ICE, meanwhile, yeah, is quietly buying warehouses for detention centers and leaving local officials out of the loop. What have I been telling you, man? They are getting ready. They are getting the infrastructure in place to get these people, all 30 fucking million of them plus, the fuck out. They are going to need places to temporarily hold them while they are processed, identities checked, double checked, triple checked, and then they're bust the hell out of here. I have seen people like asking, why do they need this? Like, hello, why do you think they need it? Do you think they? How do you think this works? They arrest them and then what? Immediately put them on a bus, straight on the spot? No, that's duh. That's not how it works. They have to have some place to hold them, at least for a matter of a few days to a few weeks, while they are, all I's are dotted and T's are crossed. They have to make sure these people are, of course, not citizens. They don't want to accidentally do that. I mean, obviously, after recent similar incidents, they don't want to repeat of that. So they're gonna make sure they're doing what doing things right. They gotta have some place to hold them. There's a lot of these people, and our jails are already full. That's not a viable option. They have to have fresh locations ready and waiting. So there you go. There's your indication that things are going in the right direction. Things are moving. These people will be every last one of them shipped the fuck out of here. Thank God. The Sagrada Familia Basilica in Barcelona, Spain, has officially reached its maximum height after being under construction for 144 years. Wow. 55-foot tall white cross now stands at the top of the Tower of Jesus Christ. The basilica now stands at a soaring height of 566 feet. The Sagrada Familia was designed by Antoni Gaudí first, and the first stone was placed all the way back in 1882. The basilica's full completion is not expected for another decade. Wow. So it has reached its maximum height, but it's not done yet. They got more to do still. Finishing work on the outside, I assume. Look at that, though. That is stunning. Wow. Okay. Absolutely massive anti-Islamic regime protests erupting across Iranian universities. OpenAI staff wanted to warn Canadian cops about trans school shooter months before? Is that what that's going to say? Yeah, months ago. Tech giant said no. What? Oh, shit. Wow. Okay, a new bombshell report from Wall Street Journal has revealed that employees at OpenAI flagged the ChatGPT writings and queries of Canadian trans school shooter Jesse Van Rootselaar. Well, there you go. There's a... They read your chats. You don't want to be giving these people your data. I mean, even if you're not a trans school shooter. Boy, that's interesting. Anyway, the employees wanted to alert Canadian authorities, but management said no. I guess if you're a trans school shooter, it doesn't matter. They'll cover for you. Management will cover for you. If you're people like us, you know, doing normal things, well, God knows what'll happen to you. Yep, I don't have an OpenAI subscription personally. Not me. I do have Google's, but it came along with some other perks that, you know, and Google EU, I know, but OpenAI is just, ugh. Sam Altman is, yeah. No, thank you. Okay, so OpenAI leaders apparently decided against reaching out to authorities after being informed by these employees. No further details really just yet. They're playing it down, of course, saying they're cooperating with investigations.
Of where we stand with this, as President Trump refers to, a vast armada.
Iran.
Well, Steve, I think right now we're seeing, as you said, all the chess pieces are getting into the region, into the EUCOM, European Command, and Central Command's area of responsibility. So from the Eastern Mediterranean down into the Gulf of Oman. Over on Friday night, was reported that the USS Gerald R. Ford and its carrier battle group had transited through the Strait of Gibraltar and is now in the Mediterranean Sea. And the latest reporting from on air asset updates, we basically have over 350 combat aircraft that are in the region, both afloat and ashore. And more importantly, we have over 100 tankers, which allows our combat aircraft, the F-16s, the F-22s, the Strike Eagle F-15s, the F-18s, and the F-35s that have shorter range. Those tankers on your screen can get now fuel to be able to sustain what is called air supremacy over a combat area. Normally, we talk about air superiority, which is a temporal time and space where you have combat air control over a geographic area. But air supremacy is where you can control the air at all times in that whole geographic region for a sustained long period of time. And so it seems to me that we are moving in and preparing our forces for air supremacy. And I would just say to Mr. Haas, who talked about managing, if we do a strike, we'll have to manage some kind of a deal with the Iranians. No, we're not going to manage anything. We're going to come in, and if President Trump decides to use military force, we will destroy Iran's military, 100% of it. We will take down their SRBMs, their medium-range ballistic missiles, and their naval forces and their remaining little air forces that they have and their air defense forces. And we will sit over the top of Iran and call fires down on anybody that tries to shoot off an air defense missile or a ballistic missile. They may get off one or two here and there, but they're not going to be able to sustain any kind of campaign against our allies in the region and against our forces. And this is what's coming to them.
California government paying protesters over $100 million. Huh? Chirla has taken in over $100 million alone in taxpayer funds. Primary function is protest-related activities and left-wing advocacy. The Coalition for Human Immigrant Rights. Wow. Newsom just signed a bill bailing out the San Francisco Bay Area Transit, the BART, with a $590 million loan. I wonder whose pockets that's going to line. Hundreds and hundreds of people, I'm sure. Everyone's going to take their cut. And none of it's going to go where it's supposed to.
Bailing out BART.
We cannot let the system fail.
Governor Gavin Newsom signing a bill Thursday with a $590 million loan to boost Bay Area transit.
We've been frankly living off our inheritance. We've taken a lot of these systems for granted. We haven't invested in them over the course of many, many decades.
Supporters say it's a necessary lifeline as public transit agencies have struggled to rebound ridership losses from the pandemic.
But fundamentally, this is about people in the Bay Area. This is about people who rely on transit to get to work every day.
It comes as BART is looking at a November sales tax ballot measure to provide a long-term funding stream.
How do we know that BART has all of the safeguards in place to actually pay this loan back and make sure that they're meeting their cash flow problems right now?
Republicans questioning the money.
So I understand the need for BART. It just seems concerning to me when especially the Department of Finance and the LAO's office has stated to us that we are entering into our fourth deficit. It seems like another element that we're adding to our responsibilities as a state.
It will be paid back in 12 years.
I asked the governor about the loan terms.
What are the stipulations if, for example, BART might not be able to pay that back?
It is not backed by the general fund. It will work against the capital fund, what is referred to as the Transit Intercity Rail Capital Program. And that specific capital program is the security as it relates to this $590 million loan.
Jeez, man. Rift machine. Sec. Lauren Boebert calls out Texas Senate candidate James Talarco to his face for blatantly lying to President Trump, about Trump pulling his interview, then using that lie to raise $2.5 million. Ew.
It wasn't President Trump that canceled your segment there. I mean, this is one area where Ms. Crockett is correct. This was a decision by the network, and, they didn't want to have her on, possibly. They didn't want to have that equal time. And so they looked at the ruling and said, well, we're not going to do this. But I also think that the way it was aired, I mean, you got over 5 million views. You raised $2.5 million in 24 hours. So it was a pretty big success for you.
Well, again, my concern is not for my campaign. It's for the Constitution.
Right. And it wasn't the president who said, do not allow this to air. They did not say, do not allow this to air. It was equal share time that was already in the rules. And that network said, we don't want to have the equal share. We don't want to fulfill that part of the rule.
Again, let's go one level deeper.
It wasn't President Trump that canceled your segment there.
Dirtbag. Nick Shirley interviewing people on the streets of San Fran. Interesting.
We are live here in San Francisco. I like to call this place the triple threat of America, as this is home to Nancy Pelosi, Gavin Newsom, and the one and only Kamala Harris here in the Bay Area. Today we're going to be hitting the streets. We're down here in Union Square. We're going to be talking to people, and then we are going to be heading into the Tenderloin. We're going to bring some special guests on today. We got a man by the name of Doodat and Big Smacks who are going to be taking us into the Tenderloin. The Tenderloin is one of the most populated places as far as homeless goes. Lots of lawlessness, fentanyl, drugs. Also, human feces is everywhere here. They even have an app here in San Francisco so you don't be walking in human poop when you're down here on the streets of San Francisco. We got Doodat right here in Big Smacks. You guys ready?
Ready, let's get through there.
What can we expect to see today in San Francisco? The cop said it's relatively safe.
You know you with us, so it's going to be relatively safe, honestly.
It get dirty, very nasty.
Very nasty, very unsanitary. We finna get into it.
Awesome, let's do it. Here we go. How you doing, Grinch? Is it booming here in San Francisco business?
No, it's slow because it's winter.
Yeah. But for Grinch, you might be doing pretty well.
Yeah, doing as well as anyone can do in an economy by capitalism, so yeah.
What's your name?
My name's J.J. Smith.
J.J. Smith, the legend J.J. Smith here. Tell us about the city, J.J.
The city is a beautiful San Francisco. Look where you at. You got Macy's. That's one of the best stores that's around here.
And what's retail theft like here?
The retail theft here is horrible.
How much can somebody walk into a store and steal without getting a felony?
I think something like can't go over a certain limit. I think it's like 900. If they get away, they free, scot-free.
All right. In tariff case, Supreme Court justices bicker over treating Trump and Biden differently. Gorsuch was unusually direct in suggesting some of his colleagues were treating presidents of opposing parties differently. Oh, spicy. What'd he say? Okay, his invective focused on a theory known as the Major Questions Doctrine, which adherents say bars sweeping presidential action not specifically authorized by Congress. Conservative majority court embraced the doctrine while Biden was in office to strike down broad plans, such as his effort to forgive student loan debt. But in ruling against Trump on tariffs Friday, the conservative majority splintered. Gorsuch, Amy Coney Barrett, and Roberts were in the majority. Interesting. While Thomas, Kavanaugh, and Alito dissented. All right. Senator Ron Johnson tells GOP to wake up. Times have changed. You bet.
Morning, Haley. Well, first of all, I understand why there's a reluctance to end the filibuster because as Republicans, as conservatives, we realize that our ability in the minority to stop awful legislation put forward by Democrats and the socialists in their party, we would have been down a far more destructive path a lot earlier were it not for the filibustering. The problem, though, is times have changed. Democrats have already shown their cards. They've already purged the two members that prevented Democrats from ending the filibuster when they were last in this position. We know they'll nuke the filibuster next time they get into power, and when they do it, they'll pack the Supreme Court, they'll turn D.C. and Puerto Rico into states, they'll do everything they can to turn this nation into a one-party state. That's what Democrats' goal is. So we just have to recognize that reality. And we ought to end the filibuster for the benefit of the American people, to secure our elections, to secure our border, to provide the kind of prosperity that President Trump and Kevin Hassett are trying to accomplish with their economic policies. So again, I wish, quite honestly, that we could maintain the filibuster, but that time's passed. Next time Democrats in power, they will nuke it, and we will look like schmucks if we allow them to steal elections by not securing elections. What we're talking about, the State of America Act, it has something like 80% support, voter ID, 80% support or more, no matter what your political ideology is. So this is something the American people support. That's what we would use if not ending the filibuster, which I agree, John Thune, we probably don't have the votes right now in the conference, but there's no reason why we can't fight hard and make the Democrats defend their position that's at odds with about 80% of the American public that opposing voter ID.
Yeah, without question.
All right. DC Democrat running for Congress charged with distributing child pornography.
DC man running as a candidate, according to federal election forms, to replace Delegate Eleanor Holmes Norton, has been arrested.
Now, I-Team investigator Scott Taylor is joining us now live with the details here. Scott, what type of charges are we talking about?
Well, Angel Anthony Rios has been indicted on a charge of distributing child porn. He was arraigned in U.S. District Court this morning. His name is listed with the Federal Election Commission as running for the office. This is really unusual story. His social media posts say he's a candidate for another office, D.C.'s Shadow Representative's office. Now, court documents show someone tipped off D.C. police over claims they were sent videos of child porn through an X account belonging to Rios. That X account has been removed. In the court's criminal complaint, a copy of Angel Rios' LinkedIn page is shown and his picture. An undercover agent took over from there and continued the conversation that ended up in the arrest of Rios, and he's been locked up since January. Now, today I was in court. Rios was arraigned and entered a not guilty plea. He'll be back in court next month. We have reached out to the D.C. Election Board. His attorney had no comment, and we just checked, and his name is not officially on the D.C. Board of Elections list for either office.
Okay. Oh, geez.
50 million Muslims now live in Europe. At the turn of the century, that number was less than 500,000, and more are arriving every day. As the people who lead these countries try to do what Joe Biden tried to do here, and that is fundamentally change the racial and ethnic makeup of a nation and make white Christians a minority in their own country. In England alone, right now, 10 major cities, including London, now have Muslim mayors in a nation that was built around the Church of England. Muslims are now running major cities across the country for the first time in history, and the English want us to believe that this is all normal.
The Muslim will come out and he will stand for truth and he will stand for justice. May Allah give us the ability to stand for the haqq.
So this is not the Middle East, it's not East Minneapolis, even that is England. And when you see images like that, you can't help but ask why anyone, a prime minister or a president or a king, would deliberately try to destroy their own country. Why would you do that? Why is this being done? And because European leaders still celebrate our failed experiment in open borders, it failed here in the United States, and because they've chosen to stand with radical Muslims over their own people, it's because of all of these reasons these countries are falling apart and failing as the attack on Western civilization continues.
New York City, meanwhile, as Muslims gather in Times Square for a mass prayer during Ramadan.
Muhammad's a warlord pedophile.
Oh man, it's what's his name?
Wow, that's who he is. You hate dogs. You don't respect women. You believe in Sharia law. Do you believe in Sharia law? You believe in Sharia law? Do you believe? He's not answering. Do you believe in Sharia law? I'm asking you. Do you believe in Sharia law? You're ignoring. That's right. Walk away. Because you believe in Sharia law. You believe in Sharia law. Oh, it's not the kind.
Now I speak the truth. You fucking hate gays. You fucking hate them and you kill them. Stop killing gay people! You're not killing gay people!
Oh my god. What a shit show.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. That's your daddy. He's your daddy. If you don't behave, you're gonna get fucking removed. I ain't gonna lie. Lie. When you back on the plane, you're not gonna be laughing. You're not gonna be laughing.
All right. Hillary Clinton, meanwhile, meeting with India's wealthiest family, touring their $2 billion 27-story home. What? That is disgusting. Oh my gosh.
Aditi Devo Bhava. That means guest is our God. I love that. And they're so beautiful themselves. I know. Besides playing a beautiful instrument, we are so proud of both of you.
Creepy. Yep. Creepy. No, thank you. As many of you know, Georgia legislature was wise enough to pass a law that authorized the defendants in the Fani Willis nonsense Georgia RICO case, including me, Jeff Clark, here, to recover our attorney's fees for having to defend ourselves and risk bankruptcy to do so. Briefing on the fee recovery motions ended yesterday. I'm pleased to report that Steve Sadow and Jennifer Little, President Trump's lawyers in the Fani Willis case, adopted the reply brief that my team, led by Harry McDougald, put together. Okay. Eventually, I'm hopeful we will prevail and recover the fees Fani Willis inflicted on my family, but in the meantime, unpaid fees to my lawyers are still in the six-figure range. Jeez, man. It sucks. I ask that you consider a donation and send prayers. I need fuel to stay in this fight. Yeah, must suck. Somali refugees are getting out the vote in Ohio with the help of CARE and the Muslim Brotherhood. Oh, how nice.
Uplift one another. We are all here today uplifting one another because we believe in Somalia. We believe in unity. That's why we are here today. So to that I say, make sure you are registered to vote. Make sure that you are engaged for the next few months. I will need a lot of volunteers to help me knock doors, to continue to collect signatures, and I will need all of you to reach out to your neighbors and to lift one another.
No, Tippy, I have not opened the chest yet, but I will, you know what? I will do that right now. We will pop the D-Live chest. Look at that. I have 1.31 diamonds. They don't give me jack diddly squat anymore to put money in there. But at least it builds up over like weeks at a time. There's, yeah, 1.2k in there. That's something. Like 14 bucks. There it goes. Get them diamonds. Get them diamonds. Diamond hands. All right. CARE is bankrolling the Muslim Brotherhood's campaign to install Islamic candidates across the country. Both groups are designated terror organizations. So why are they still here?
Whatever you want to learn, whatever field you want to go into, there is something here for everyone, whether you want to be like a leader in your community, whether you want to be any sort of change maker that you can take. And so I think applying would be a very good way to make these new experiences while also having a lot of fun.
No. Go away.
America. 4,000 mosques. That is the largest infrastructure of social organization.
The CARE, the Muslim Brotherhood linked front group, has just designated the heroic Sharia Free America Caucus an anti-Muslim hate group.
4,000
So what does that make them?
in America.
A pro-Muslim hate group?
4,000 mosques.
Yeah.
That is
Yes, that's precisely what they are.
the largest infrastructure of social organizations, non-profit
I don't know what
organizations.
this is. What is rare?
To think
Sounds
strategically.
gay. Whatever it is, it sounds gay. Salisbury University, MD. Oh, Maryland. Holland McEver's insane footage of rabid students turning a protest into a full-blown riot.
Especially, why do you believe that? Wait, why do you, I am. You're a grown-ass woman. Maybe my daughter is out here too, who knows? Look.
I'm her daughter. Like, thank you, I'm her daughter, and then you let that girl like the phone, I don't know who.
I'm not having kids.
If you were us,
All they know how to do is screech like animals. Look at this one. Look at this one. Wonder where she learned that. Probably from mommy, because, well, daddy sure wasn't around.
You're not gay. Go, please go. Please go.
Yo, they're trying to attack me. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. They're literally attacking me now. But look, I'm gonna go because I'm peaceful. I'm a peaceful person. And honestly, it didn't hurt. I mean, they're little kids, but I am gonna head out because it's gotten a little bit crazy now. It's gotten a little bit crazy. So I'm gonna leave because I believe that it's important to keep the peace.
Did you hear that, you white-ass motherfucker? Think I heard?
A little bit crazy. So I'm gonna leave because I believe that it's important to keep the peace.
Yep. Out of control. Kids, man. Little demons. All right. New whistleblower claims snap fraud in Democrat-run Massachusetts is worse than we think. Of course it is.
Being uncovered in Massachusetts. Last week, we spoke to Democrat State Auditor Diana DiZoglio, who revealed nearly $12 million in public assistance fraud, including over $4 million in the state's SNAP program. But now there's a whistleblower who is speaking out, who's alleging fraud in the SNAP program that is worse than what we thought, saying it's run, quote, rampant. And this whistleblower says that they trace the uptick in potential fraud back to 2021, when illegal immigration soared under the Biden administration. They go on to say, quote, about 4 or 5 years ago, we had a very drastic uptick of not just people who are saying their cards were missing or that someone unapproved was using it, but also people by the dozens, listen to this, coming in and saying there was nothing on their card at all. The whistleblower also says fraudsters are receiving SNAP benefits and will try to add children onto their cases, many times providing a simple handwritten note stating that they have a child they'd like to add with no verification of their relationship to the child. But when this whistleblower sought to root out this fraud, they were checked by management. Quote, "We're even being limited in the ways we're able to vet migrants applying for benefits. The Department of Transitional Assistance just wants us to peek in and extract information regarding possible fraud and move on. The reports are designed so that we can't look further." That department is denying the claims. Here's what they're saying. The Department of Transitional Assistance takes every allegation of fraud seriously and has robust systems in place to identify fraud and protect the people of Massachusetts. Joining me now, Boston Herald politics reporter.
This is nice. I can like stand up and walk around, stretch my legs, and keep doing my show. Actually, great. That's fun. That's cool. Need like some way to like control it from back here, like a hand remote, or how I could do that.
Being uncovered in Massachusetts.
All right. President Trump raising tariffs to 15% worldwide in response to the Supreme Court. What? So how's he doing it? How's he gonna get around all this? Based on a thorough, detailed, and complete review of the ridiculous, poorly written, and extraordinarily anti-American decision on tariffs issued yesterday, after many months of contemplation by the United States Supreme Court, please let this statement serve to represent that I, as President of the United States of America, will be effective immediately, raising the 10% worldwide tariff on countries, many of which have been ripping off the U.S. for decades without retribution until I came along to the fully allowed and legally tested 15% level. Interesting. During the next short number of months, the Trump admin will determine and issue the new and legally permissible tariffs, which will continue our extraordinarily successful process of making America great again. Wow. Well, figures they had something. They were expecting this. All right. Progressive group rolls out 2026 candidates pitching working class challengers. That's rich. Literally. Oh God, Susan Rice, the hag biatch or threat from the other day. Yeah, that was a wild piece of video.
So she says the accountability agenda. Now, let's call it what it is. Revenge.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, she's warm and fuzzy, isn't she? She gives me a real happy feeling when I listen to her. She's a brilliant woman. I don't know why in the world she's doing this. I think I have some thoughts about it. First of all, did you notice the we she used in that statement? Well, who is the we? Is it we because she's going to be president, or we because she knows she's going to be part of the next Democratic administration if one ever comes along again? Very odd to hear those numbers or what she's saying. I also think it's a message they're sending out right now saying, hey, don't mess with us right now, because if you mess with us right now, we're really going to put the hammer down on folks. But the problem that does is just puts more stress on Pam Bondi, for example, from the right and from conservatives who say, well, why aren't we doing the same thing and putting everybody else in jail as well? So she's not helping her cause whatsoever. And it's a scary thing to hear from someone who really has been in office, holding different offices at appointed positions.
Oh, she's crazy. Susan Rice is fucking crazy. She's scary. She's a scary lady. Probably eats human flesh for fun. I mean, just look at her. Rice and Obama are plotting and planning and saying way too much out loud. Yeah. More from Times Square.
By the border right now, baby. MashaAllah, yeah. Takbir! Oh, don't scare them, brothers.
Durka, Mohammed Jihad.
Relax.
Durka, New York.
They're over here on purpose to be like, oh my God. Who's seen those videos where they're like, oh my God, the Muslims are taking over New York? So you seen those?
Yeah, you're in one right now.
You seen those? Let them know that we are taking over New York City. Takbir! Oh my
Muhammad
God.
Jihad.
Giving that.
Bakallah. Student protest against ICE develops into a riot. Yet another one. This is in Quakertown, Pennsylvania. Oh, wow. Quakertown. In Quakertown. Home of most peaceful people on the face of the planet. Just about.
What happened?
Kind of brawl happened. My friend Willow was fighting back.
Do you want to be on this? It's on.
Yes, it's totally fine.
Okay,
Don't be on the wrong side of history, please. Listen to what we are saying instead of fighting back.
Some cops started grabbing the kids, and then my friend Willow said, "Hey, get off of them." And then they pushed her, so she hit him, and then they started beating her up. And
She
they
hit a
arrested
cop?
her. Yeah, but they were hitting other kids.
But so somebody hit a cop?
Yeah, I wanted this to be
Well,
peaceful.
who hit the cop?
My friend.
More than one cop.
What's her name?
A lot of people were getting.
But what's her name?
Willow Woodruff.
And she hit a police officer?
What are you wearing, my dear?
And what happened? Is she the one bleeding?
She's bleeding.
So what
because
happened?
the old guy punched her back. He hit a kid.
So who hit who first?
The cops, I believe.
The cops were grabbing kids and they were defending themselves.
So they
Okay.
were trying to get you out of the situation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just all pulled up and started hitting us, or not hitting
So-
us, but grabbing.
Yeah, they just started hitting us for no reason.
So the cops were trying to get you guys out of a situation and then it escalated?
I guess.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. HUD proposes rule that would force non-citizens from public housing. Good. Get them out. They should be going to, homeless vets. First and foremost. Okay, the rule would require every resident in HUD-funded housing to show proof of citizenship or eligible status, including those 62 years older and older who previously only had to show proof of age. That's all? Winter storm watches have been issued for more than 37 million Americans as yet another one moves into the Northeast. Here we go again. Yeah, we're getting more. Ay. Oh, go back.
Been tracking these models, making this major nor'easter moving in tonight. Yet another winter storm set to hit New York City and much of the Northeast, bringing a half foot of snow and more in some places. This will stretch from Washington, D.C. to Philadelphia, New York City, right up to Boston. Let's get right to WABC Chief Meteorologist Lee Goldberg, who's been tracking these models all week. What do they show tonight, Lee?
Well, David, there's been a major forecast development tonight. Everything aligning the atmosphere for a major East Coast snowstorm come Sunday into Monday. Winter storm watches are now out Baltimore, New York, all the way to southern New England from Sunday morning all the way to Monday afternoon. Let's time it. The storm starts to develop off the mid-Atlantic as we go into the morning hours on Sunday. Heavy rain in Virginia, but snow breaking out. D.C., Baltimore, Philly. Lighter snows and rain mixed in the New York City area, but getting steadier Sunday afternoon. The storm rapidly intensifies into Sunday night. That's when this really hits a high gear with heavy snow bands, gusty winds, coastal flooding and beach erosion, blizzard conditions possible from Long Island all the way up to Cape Cod.
Boy.
The amounts, a widespread swath now of 6 to 12 inch snows up the I-95 corridor, could even be a little bit more. A lot of volatility with this, so keep in touch with us for snow totals over the weekend. David?
We'll stay tuned all weekend
Boy,
long.
oh boy, yeah, we're getting more. It looks like we're just on the edge. We'll probably get a couple inches. Suspect dead. Ongoing counter-terror investigation into power substation attack. What the frick? Eh?
The evidence recovered, the search from the hotel room revealed multiple books related to extremist ideologies.
What manner of extremist ideologies, Mr. Sheriff, sir? That matters. What kind? What kind of extremist was he?
including right and left-wing extremism,
both of them? He doing both of them?
Environmental extremism, white supremacy,
Huh?
and anti-government ideology. We also recovered explosive materials and components to include thermite.
He did all the
ammonium
extremisms? All of them?
nitrate, magnesium ribbon, metal pipes, and gasoline. 2 shotguns, an AR-style pistol, numerous loaded AR magazines with .223 ammunition, a box of shotgun shells, 2 devices described as flamethrowers containing thermite material.
What? Thermite?
A crowbar and a hatchet, and a cellular phone, which is currently being forensically analyzed. At approximately 10 a.m.,
A thermite flamethrower? What the fuck?
Police dispatch received
That's
a 911
crazy.
call reporting a vehicle crash through a secured gate at the power substation.
That could
caller-
have done serious fucking damage, dude. Like a thermite flamethrower inside a power substation? Jesus.
Indicated that the driver appeared deceased and that gunshots had been heard after the crash. The driver of this vehicle is identified as 23-year-old Dawson Maloney of Albany, New York. Here's a brief video of that vehicle crashing.
I've never even heard of such a thing. A fucking thermite flamethrower? The heck? Oh, wow. Adapted for drone use in Ukraine. Yeah, I bet that would come in handy for certain warfare use cases. Chemical flamethrower. Jesus, dude. That is insane. Where does someone even come up with some shit like that? Okay, I want to know more. I want to know every damn detail about this. Now, this is the first I've heard of this. This is fascinating already. Whoa. Okay, let's hear the last couple minutes here. Oh, come on.
Through the gate.
The heck?
Crashed right through the gate into the power facility. At approximately 1 p.m., LVMPD was notified and our counterterrorism section responded to assist. The officers were also able to observe multiple
So
firearms
how did he die?
inside of the vehicle.
He said there a moment ago that multiple gunshots were heard after the crash. So what, did he just off himself? Did he like damage himself too bad in the crash to go actually do what he came there to do? So he just...
We also confirmed through the license plate reader data that the suspect traveled from New York to Nevada in a rental vehicle. You see
From
that
New York
LPR
to Nevada.
on the screen to my left. Our armor task force systematically cleared the vehicle for secondary threats. Given the location and the materials discovered, this incident was treated as a terrorism-related event.
You bet.
In a message to his mother, the suspect referred to himself as a dead terrorist son and stated he felt he had an obligation to carry out his act. To his mother, the suspect referred to himself as a dead terrorism-related event. In a message to his mother,
A message to his mother. Weird.
The suspect referred to himself as a dead terrorist son and stated he felt he had an obligation to carry out his act.
Why, though?
These findings significantly elevate the seriousness of this incident.
Okay. Nope.
Millions
nope.
of you watching
Shut up,
for
lady.
winter
Shut up.
weather.
I want to watch the guy again.
The evidence recovered, the search from the hotel room revealed multiple books related to extremist
Okay, show me the shit.
right and left
Can't give me better resolution than that. Come on.
Left-wing extremism.
The Greater Key of Solomon. Whoa, some occult stuff. Oh, shit. Yep, that is a 14th to 17th century grimoire attributed to King Solomon. That's really interesting. Wow. Okay. Give me more. Let me try that one. The Lesser Key of Solomon. That's the other book, right next to it. The Lemegeton. An anonymously authored grimoire on sorcery, mysticism, and magic. Boy, he didn't mention that, did he? He mentioned the right-wing and left-wing ideologies, but I didn't hear anything in there about the occult. Jeez. Might is right. See that up there. Yep, there it is. (1927) by Ragnar Redbeard, Arthur Desmond. I don't know. Originally published 1896. Might is right. Inspired a wide array of social and political movements, from radical socialists to Satanists, egoists to anarchists, and every flavor of free thinker in between. Yeah. Creepy. Okay. Gothic violence. Harassment architecture. Yep, harassment architecture. What the hell is that? Contains extreme violence as well as extreme misogyny and racism. Criticizes modernity and progressivism. Promoting violence as... Where did that go? Promoting violence is the only solution. Has gained popularity among far-right and right-wing accelerationists. Yep. Creepy. Here's the writer right there. Weird.
Environmental extremism, white supremacy, and anti-government ideology.
Can't make out those other ones.
Also recovered explosive materials and components
That's
to
thermite.
include thermite, ammonium nitrate, magnesium.
Oh my God! Look at that, United Nuclear. He got his shit from Bob Lazar's company, dude. That's interesting.
Ribbon.
Yeah, that Bob Lazar. You know that guy. You know the UFO guy. This guy from all those stupid ass retard bullshit documentaries from the 90s and, you know, chilling UFO garbage. Yeah, that guy. That dude. Bob Lazar. That's his company. Yep, that is absolutely his company. Yep, there it is. United Nuclear. Look at that.
Metal pipes and gasoline, 2 shotguns, an AR-style pistol, numerous loaded AR magazines with .223 ammunition, a box of shotgun shells, 2 devices described as flamethrowers.
That's the most interesting bit. Right there. Thermite flamethrowers. Freaking hack, dude.
Described as flamethrowers containing thermite material.
What is that?
A crowbar and a
Roflame? Is this a thing you can buy? Oh my gosh. Yep, you can. What? That can't be cheap. How much is that? Where did they get the money for this shit? How much was this? It was I think it's probably is this one. $3,500? I mean, it's not like outrageous, like out of the range of like any normal person. If I scraped and saved, I could do it, I guess. Never would. What a ridiculous thing to buy, but still, it again makes me wonder where the hell the money was coming from.
Reporting a vehicle.
Right, I want to know more. I want to see if I can find any more about this. This is just too interesting. Dawson Maloney. Power substation attacking where? Near Boulder City, Nevada. Carried out by, what's the guy's name? Dawson Maloney. Of Albany, New York. The attack itself, and also all available on perpetrator. All right, let's see what we get here. Oh boy. Do I have it on expert? Oh, there's Grok 4. Oh, I haven't tried that yet. Ooh, should have done that. Hold on. Nope. Stop. Give me the new one. I want the new fancy one. Give me the new model. Four agents. I don't know what that can do. All right, well, let's try it. Agents thinking. Interesting. Tell me about Croc 420. That's funny. Four agents: research, math and logic, creativity, user input. Interesting. Cool. This is stuff I've been toying with on my machine with that OpenClaw thing. It does basically the same thing. Multiple agents. You can organize them with a chief, like, manager agent, basically, and they literally work like employees, basically, for you. You have your manager coordinate everything. You can feed your manager agent ideas, like tell it you want a report drawn up for you every morning based on the most popular news scraped from X or, you know, wherever, along with like 3 ideas for video scripts or 3 ideas for applications that would solve a problem for someone that could be sold and make money with, right? And then it delegates tasks to build all of that to all of the sub-agents. It's fascinating stuff. It's really crazy. Eager to get it up and running. I'm going to be working on that the rest of today. So let's see. 4 agents. 2 million context window. Wow, that's really cool. All right. Well, here's what I came up with. February 19th, 2026 at approximately 10 a.m. Dawson Maloney rammed a rented silver Nissan Sentra through the secured perimeter, the LA Department of Water and Power substation near Boulder City, adjacent to areas tied to Hoover Dam power generation and solar projects. Look at this. They rammed their vehicle into, like, a bunch of old cable wheels. Ancient from the looks of them. Like, why? Bizarre. Okay, the vehicle breached the fence. So they did go through the fence, then created a debris field and came to a stop after colliding with large industrial wire reels / cable spools inside the compound. Security camera footage captured the high-speed approach and impact. A witness who called 911 reported hearing gunshots immediately afterward. One reportedly fired through the windshield from inside the vehicle. Officers found Maloney dead in the driver's seat from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. There were no other injuries, no significant damage to the substation itself, and no power outages or operational disruptions to the grid. What the hell even happened here, dude? Did they, have second thoughts, like last minute, and decide to call the whole thing off and just do themselves in? Were they being put up to this by someone else? This is, I mean, it's absolutely a possibility, knowing how 764 and that lot works. Okay, items recovered. 2 shotguns, AR pistol, bunch of mags, thermite, crowbar and hatchet, off body armor, explosive materials and components in some accounts. In the hotel room, explosive ingredients and materials, multiple books and publications espousing a wide range of extremist ideologies, including right-wing, left-wing, white supremacist, environmental extremism, and anti-government views. Doesn't mention any of the occult stuff, though. Weird. Ah, there's the kid. Enrolled as a JD candidate at Albany Law School. The heck? Prior education or work details in public sources are limited. When profile reference notes prior employment at a supermarket. No extensive public biography, criminal history, or high-profile prior incidents were reported before this event. Just a guess, but I'm going to go ahead and assume they're going to find no social media whatsoever. Yep. Oh, there it is. No public social media footprint with overt radicalization content has surfaced in initial reporting. And his online presence appears limited/low profile. Hotel guests described seeing him as sketchy with his hoodie up in the days prior. That's about it. Drove 2,500 miles to drive into a wire spool and shoot himself. Something going on there, obviously. Like, can't wait to hear more. Jeez. All right. Back to the pile. It was a fascinating detour. Oh no. Oh no. What happened? Did they get you, Steph? Yeah, they got Steph. Oh no. We'll get it this way. All right, where did we leave off here? Right there. Swalwell speaking at California Democratic Party convention about the recent Supreme Court decision.
Eric Swalwell at the California Democratic Convention. 3,000 delegates from across the state gathering here to endorse candidates, mobilize for the midterms. Now, today, the Supreme Court ruled that the American people have been paying millions of dollars in tariffs that Trump illegally imposed. Doesn't appear to be stopping him. What can you do to stop him?
Stay on offense. And we learned today from the Supreme Court that millions of Californians were illegally taxed by the president. And that just shows me that there's no one way to beat the president and his corruption and his cruelty. You have to go to the courts. And today, for once, we won in the courts. You have to go to the polls. Californians, Prop 50. Texas tried to pass a rigged districting process to take 5 seats from Democrats in the House. We matched that in about 90 days. We went to the voters and won in California. But you also have to go to the streets. We've got No Kings rallies coming up. We've had millions in the streets across the country. And so it's really going to take all of us, from holding them accountable in the press, in the courts, in the streets, and all the way to the ballot box. And when we do that, we'll cut our time in hell by half by winning the midterms. And with rock solid governors, we can get through the next 2 years. And
Jack Hole.
Well, thank you, because leaders like you really are so important.
Oh, that's disgusting. Stupid lady. All right. Officers find and easily catch a felon convicted for trafficking heroin who later admitted that he is slow as hell.
Sheriff's office, get down, get down. Get to the ground, do it now. Get down. Get down. Get down. Right. Hey, running your way. Runner. Out the back. Easy. Roll down.
Well, that's all you take off.
You like this stupid mother.
I was like, this big guy actually got it too.
I'm slow as hell.
I know. But the thing you weren't no track star jumping that wall. That's an easy wall.
The thing about it, when I came downstairs and my girls, y'all had her posted up like that, I'm like, I felt so bad.
Dang, homeboy.
So I was like, I'm trying to.
You got the AK. Look at that piece of shit, dude. Look at this thing. Does that even work? Look at that fucking thing.
So I'm trying to get the attention off Bull. I get it.
Sheriff's office, get down, get down.
Probably. Okay. All right, 1 second. Good. All right. Oh no. Senator Schiff will join the boycott of Trump's State of the Union. Surprise, surprise. And instead speak at the People's State of the Union, hosted by Midas Touch and Move On. The People's State of the Union? They're just going full-blown commie. No shame. Parents of, 764 victim file wrongful death lawsuit against Discord. Oh. I wonder if this has something to do with their recent move towards ID verification. For, well, now everybody, but especially kids. Wow.
Martin, like your last name or name? What is it? Last name.
This man at the scene of a car accident in Arizona 2 years ago.
There was stopped cars on the road.
Is allegedly a high-ranking member of 764.
He looked like a gangly, skinny kid.
But just weeks ago, in an extraordinary move, the Justice Department charging 21-year-old Baron Martin with conspiring to provide material support to terrorists and 28 other offenses for allegedly running a brutal branch of 764 out of Arizona and producing this guide on how to groom and extort struggling children.
It's not just an individual going out there replicating themselves.
Exploiting children in just outrageous ways.
Authorities believe 764 is unique, both a national security threat.
What do you want to bet there's some kind of tie to that substation attack in Nevada?
And directly impacting families.
There has been a deadly high school shooting in the Nashville area.
Authorities telling ABC News they're even investigating whether 764 may have influenced recent school shootings.
Oh, they have.
Individuals like Solomon Henderson and Antioch.
Yeah, they absolutely have. Oh, the Mike Huckabee interview is out, huh? I haven't watched it yet. I guess it came out yesterday. I gotta tag that to watch myself later. Lauren Chen, James O'Keefe. Lauren Chen of what? You do again? I know I recognize her from somewhere. Shares she received a suspicious Google login alert that she thinks might have been the FBI. What? Huh? She says the lengthy indictment against her company. Oh, is this the ones that were like working with Russia or whatever, like taking money from Russia? That's them, right? I think it's them. What's the name of that the company that she was mixed up with? Tenet Media, yeah. That's it. Tenet Media. Okay, so she says the lengthy indictment against her company seemed more like a press release than a case meant for trial, and specifies that it never went to court and the case is now closed. Really? That's interesting. Okay. A few months before this happened, I got a strange login notification from Google that someone was accessing my account from Maryland. And I guess my message to people is that if that ever happens to you, don't ignore it. It might be the FBI.
Both raided by the FBI under different. Mine was over the president's daughter's diary. Yours over. What was it over?
So, I mean,
it's complicated for me to try to answer that because when the FBI was raiding us, they basically said there's a financial investigation into some people you work with. And I was like, okay. It wasn't until after they left I heard the Merrick Garland press release essentially accusing us of trying to subvert the presidential election and being paid propagandists. So I guess what that was all about depends on who you ask. I think it's pretty safe to say that it was politicized regardless, though.
So you believe it to be a politicized prosecution?
Very much so. And you mentioned we have the same lawyer, lovely, expensive fellow. I mean, according to him, usually these indictments around
Jeff Lichtman.
Yeah.
Jeff Lichtman.
I don't know if he wants to be associated with being my lawyer.
I talked to him before this, and he said it's fine to name him as we were both. He's both. Lichtman was not as expensive as many other lawyers I've worked with.
I mean, there's a very high ceiling for lawyers.
Yeah.
I suppose there are theoretically more expensive lawyers than him.
Yes.
But
yes. But so SDNY indictment on Russian funding influence in the FBI raid. Just to refresh our audience, if we could put up 101 GFX on the screen there. Here we on the screen. If we can put it for the audience, there's the Southern District of New York, United States of America.
My good buddies.
What's that?
My good buddies.
Your good buddies.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a lot of dealings with SDNY. Did you see the Matt Tierman video we've dropped?
Yes, I did see that.
He said he went to the SDNY. He wasn't specifically clear about what he ratted on.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was about the diary, but that's another story. So this is USA versus two Russians.
Yeah, not me.
And who are these two Russians?
So these are people who worked in conjunction with our company. They were doing social media stuff. There's been a lot of misreporting on this case.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard online that I've been indicted. I had charges. They were dropped.
That's what people might assume, that you were indicted.
Yeah, but I was not indicted.
They were indicted.
Yeah, I've never been indicted, never had charges against me. And I mean, to be clear, our investigation is now closed. I also want to mention that it wasn't the case that, Trump came in and now he's trying to make everything go away because our content was favorable to conservatives. No, this was basically all finished before he even came to office. I also want to make that
So they
clear.
raided you because you had information that could help them in their case against these two Russians?
I would also say no to that. I don't think there's been anything new about the case that wasn't already in the indictment. And what is in there, a lot of it is very misleading. There's some things that are outright false in there. But, I mean, essentially, they had been listening to us for, I would say, years.
Listening to you?
Yeah.
The Southern District of New York, the FBI.
Oh, I mean, the FBI.
And they got secret warrants against you?
Yes, that's right.
Through Google and Apple and all these different companies?
Yes. And it's funny, a few months before this happened, I got a strange login notification from Google that someone was accessing my account from Maryland. And I guess my message to people is that if that ever happens to you, don't just ignore it. It might be the FBI.
Might be the FBI.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, basically, why I mentioned my lawyer is that according to him, these indictments are usually 4 to 5 pages, not 30-some pages, as ours was. And I say ours, again, it's not my indictment, but as the indictment related to our company was. And, since the two people who are actually indicted in this were not in the country, I don't believe that they ever thought that this case would go to trial. I believe that this indictment was essentially a press release of things that they wanted to allege, knowing that they wouldn't actually ever have to prove it in court. And I mean, I'm right, it's never gone to court, and there's, from everything I can tell, our investigation is closed for sure. I don't think they're doing anything with anything else, so it's just kind of there now.
So this is the indictment alleges that RT, Russia Today, secretly funded and helped steer this Tennessee-based company called, what was the name of the company?
Tenet.
Tenet. Who's in charge of Tenet?
Well, I was day-to-day operations with my husband. And what's really frustrating is that basically the allegation is that, there are these Russians who are controlling things. The FBI, like I mentioned, had access to all of our internal communications. They knew exactly how our workflow worked. And our creators had 100% editorial freedom over everything that they put out. We were actually licensing their content. So, I mean, we worked with people like Tim Poole, Benny Johnson, Dave Rubin, these people had their own production workflows that we were not involved in at all. We often didn't see the content until they were the ones uploading it. So for this to be spun as somehow this is propaganda, or I've even heard after it was like pretty clear, the creators came out and said we weren't told to say anything. They changed it to they were unwitting propagandists, which as a concept makes no sense. I'm sorry, that doesn't.
Unwitting propagandists.
Unwitting propagandists.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they argue that did they argue in this indictment that you knew about, or this indictment against these two Russians, that you knew that you were spreading propaganda?
Well, so it's interesting. If there is this big propaganda operation, you would assume that there's a lot of proof of what the propaganda is, right? Especially since this was a media channel. We're putting out content every day. They should have a wealth of examples to choose from. One of the examples of propaganda was the fact that, do you remember Tucker Carlson did a trip to Russia, and there was this clip that he did where he went to a Russian grocery store, and he was impressed because I think it was cheap and people were putting the grocery carts away. So we shared that clip, and that is in the indictment.
Do we have that picture of that producer from the indictment? This is the
Careful,
Tucker Carlson.
you may be sharing
I
propaganda
might be
here.
committing a felony. Let's
Yeah.
play the tape. This is Tucker in Russia.
Standing feature, maybe the longest standing feature of Cold War propaganda in the West, was the Soviet grocery store. No products, no choices, shoddily made things. And it wasn't actually propaganda, it was real. And you can look up the pictures on the internet if you want. So we thought it would be interesting to take a look at a contemporary, modern day, 2024 Russian grocery store 2 years into sanctions. Here we go. All right. There we go. So I guess you put in 10 rubles here, and you get it back when you put the
Anyway, so
card
this is a longer clip, but Tucker is kind of taking you through the grocery store, saying this isn't so bad. And this is one of the clips
From Russia with love.
but this is something Tucker produced.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys distributed or reproduced or disseminated.
So it was going viral, and we were, we would share clips that were getting a lot of attention, as a lot of these other outlets do. This was one of them, and it's funny because as we were going to share it, one of our producers said, like, he's getting kind of flack for this. People are saying he's shilling. Should we still share it? And this is like how I know that they were definitely trying to paint us in a certain way. We had internal discussions about it. We agreed that we would share it, but we also, when we did share it, we mentioned that some people are criticizing this as being, I guess, not telling the whole story. What do you think? So we were actually we tried to include that when we shared it, the fact that there are people who say this isn't representative of Russia, or who feel that he's maybe trying to put a better foot forward than is actually the case with these grocery stores. They didn't include that either. They were just like, nope, they just shared it. They're just trying to propagandize Americans into...
This is from the indictment. This is, I can put the screenshot on the screen. On there about February 15th, 2024, a video of well-known U.S. political commentator visiting grocery store. That's Tucker. Who's Afanasvena? What is that?
That's one of the people who's indicted. Yeah.
Posted the video in the producer Discord channel. What's the producer Discord channel?
So this is, we had an internal company Discord channel. It's basically kind of like Slack. Yeah, okay. but not Slack.
It's
so
a different name.
We would have a channel where people would give pitches, where we would share different clips that were getting a lot of attention. Hey, do we want to share this? Does anyone want to cover this? That type of thing. So we were operating that way for about a year, and this is the story that they chose to highlight as proof of our...
So this is what they say in the indictment. This is the FBI, or the prosecutors, and SDNY, and the SDNY is perniciously all about power, as Matt Tiermont said. I agree with him on that. It's really of a dark kind of place, the SDNY.
It is.
It's not justice-based, it's power and control. But this is what they write, quote, and this is producer 1, privately messaged founder 2. They always use these metonyms instead of your real name. You're founder 1, my assumption is?
Yes, I think so.
Founder 2 is your husband?
Yes. Who also, for the record, has never been charged with anything.
Right.
And
I was never charged. They raided my home.
Yeah, they don't really care about that. They just want to...
It's kind of wild they raid newsrooms, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So, quote, they want me to post this, that's your husband, referencing the video that the Russian had posted. but, quote, it just feels like overt shilling. They're referencing something your husband wrote in the Slack or Discord channel. Now, Founder 2, that's you, replied...
Founder 2 is my husband.
Pardon me. Founder 2 is your husband, replied that Founder 1, that's you, thinks we should put it out there. Producer acquiesced, okay. So they're trying to use this as justification for what? What exactly is the...
That this is a covert propaganda outlet. The fact that we shared this Tucker Carlson clip that we weren't even involved in producing. It was just kind of, it was topical, it was going viral. And again, that's not even the full story. We agreed that we would share it, but also mentioned that there was some controversy over the clip. So we were trying to cover all of our bases and just kind of present it as is.
How much money did these Russian investors give to you guys?
Well, the investors that, I mean, that's this whole thing of who the money supposedly came from. There's stuff in the indictment that I can't verify. That if it's true, which I'm seeing as how they kind of twisted things that I know aren't true, I'm very skeptical of. I'm not taking these people's word on anything. Like we were working with a French team in terms of the investor side. I spoke French with them, but something else that was reported is the amount. So it was basically in the media made to seem like I personally was getting like millions of dollars, which was not true. They reported our total operating budget as money that was going to me personally, which is not accurate at all.
How much money do you know that you received from the people that sent it?
I think it was about $10 million to cover all of our shows, production, travel for any guests.
$10 million is a lot of money.
Yeah, it was. We were working with big talent, and that was the thing. Like we were in negotiations with these talents for months, and these are numbers that I didn't come up with, basically.
And what did they want in exchange for that $10 million? What's the consideration as part of the deal?
I mean, none. This was basically like an angel investor situation. They had absolutely no say over what.
Did they want an ownership stake in the company, or?
No. And this was basically just, and I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know how much I should be talking about people who are not me, and I don't know what their case is right now, Right. Jeffrey worked with us on what was going on with us. So these other people, the attorney. So, what all the SDNY has or doesn't have on these other people, I'm not sure.
My assumption is, I don't know this, but my assumption is the SDNY has just dropped this entire thing because Trump is the president, and that's what happens. Unfortunately, in our country, justice is downstream from who's in charge, and that's my assumption.
Let's face it, healthcare is a mess. Outrageous premiums, surprise bills, denied claims, and now the...
All right, that's the end of that one. Yes. White radical left woman assaults 2 pro-ICE young adults.
Ma'am, can we have civil dialogue?
Nope.
I can walk over here. Hold on. This is a public sidewalk. This is a public sidewalk. I can stand right here if I want to. I can stand right here. If you touch me, that's giving me grounds. I shall not be infringed. I will not be infringed. I shall not be infringed. Hey, if you touch her, that's grounds that we will use force to get you away from us. Touch me and see what happens. Touch me and see what happens.
Get away from me. Get away from me. Get away from me. Do not touch me. Do not touch me. Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa. This is a minor, yo. Whoa, see what happens. Hey, don't touch him. Don't touch him.
You touched me first.
Whoa.
Whoa. You touched me.
Stay away from me now. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. Ma'am, can we have civil dialogue? I can.
Insane. What, they still got you. School student charged with running sextortion scheme. 764. Zachariah Myers instructed juveniles to produce and disseminate explicit images and videos of themselves and requested them to engage in prohibited sexual acts. 18-year-old Pennsylvania high school student. More than 20 underage victims. Is there any tie to 764 here? Nope. At least none mentioned. A2 against ICE protest outside federal building in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Oh, geez.
What do we want?
When our neighbors were forced into those buildings, into those rooms.
No one forced them to illegally jump the border.
In contraposition to basic law. I want you to think
What about
about
that law that says they can't jump the border?
something. What is the difference between an arrest and a kidnapping?
Deportation?
Under arrest, you know who's picking you up, why they're picking you up, and what you can do to challenge your own arrest. Kidnapping is when somebody doesn't tell you who they are, why they're taking you, where they're taking you, or what you can do about it.
No, they know where they're going. They're being deported.
And the difference between state-sponsored arrest and the rule of law, and the state-sponsored arrest and kidnapping is the rule of law. And so...
Derp. All right. Okay, Mr. Friedman, we're at Times Square.
Tell me about what's going on here today.
So today we do this every year, and it is called Tarawih in Times Square. So Ramadan has entered for the Muslims, and Tarawih is a prayer that we pray every night. And so today the main purpose is just to show everyone what that looks like, to show people and teach people what Islam really is about, what the Quran actually says, rather than the things that are being shown left and right in the media and whatever have you. So it's about clarity, it's about building a community and things of that nature.
And have you organized it personally? Are you with a company?
The organizer is my brother.
Who's seen those videos where they're like, oh my God, the Muslims are taking over New York City? You seen those?
That guy? Oh, wow.
Let them know that we are taking over New York City.
One of the misconceptions that is very common is that it's a religion of violence.
Yes.
And that its followers are people of violence, when actually the Quran talks about mercy repeatedly, far more than any book and revelation prior.
I don't speak Arabic, so when I'm reading on the Quran.com, there's 10 translations. One says one thing, one says another one. One of them is like, if your wife is disobeying you, you can strike her lightly or beat her. Is it strike her lightly? Is it beat her? What context is there? Because I imagine that you don't support that.
No, okay, so let me explain to you what
around a bit.
That is.
Explain, go ahead.
Are you married?
I'm not.
Okay, you have a girlfriend?
I hope to be one day.
You have a girlfriend?
Yeah, I don't slap her around.
So, when it says, you can beat your wife or you can strike your husband, strike your wife lightly.
What?
First of all, it's not something that puts the woman down or things of that nature.
Well, I mean, if you beat her hard enough, you'd probably go down.
And it's the harm, if harm is supposed to come from it, right? Let me give you an example. Hold on. Yeah. I want to make it very clear.
Absolutely.
Give me a sec.
Absolutely.
Give me a sec.
Yes.
Something in Islam is that we are not allowed to strike one another in the face. Okay. And when it does,
you hit him where the bruises won't show, right?
Say when it does say the word that is used in Arabic, right? Yeah. In context, it makes no sense. If we are not allowed to bring bodily harm to someone, then in what sense does it make for
facial harm
me to be able to discipline my wife from a place of harming my wife? Right. It doesn't make any sense.
So why does it write it then? Because I'm saying basically, my understanding is that Muslims follow the Quran, and if the Quran says it's okay to beat up your wife, then
it doesn't say to beat up your wife. What it says is, I'll give you an example.
Yes, please.
Literally,
please.
This is what it's saying.
Yes.
As the final resort. Okay. Because when you say the hitting portion, it's.
But those wives from whom you fear arrogance, first advise them. Then, if they persist, if they keep that shit up, forsake them in bed. Don't give them any. And then finally, if they keep that shit up still, then you beat them.
I believe the third...
Yes. It actually says that? My goodness.
Course of action.
Yes.
After two far
them in bed.
Things,
and
right?
Beat them.
Now imagine this is the final one.
Yes.
like a friendly tap,
Sure.
like, yo, check yourself a little
Sure.
bit, you know?
Yeah.
And then if this is the worst,
Yes.
if this is the worst that is said to discipline someone,
Yeah.
for lack of better words,
Yes.
then what kind of what can you say about a religion like that?
Wow.
To be able to come here, feed people, especially if anyone is homeless, they can come here and get a free meal. You don't have to be Muslim to eat. We break bread, we share bread, and we share good vibes, and that's what's so beautiful.
Women, we share bread. We beat our wives, and we share more bread.
So if you don't know what Islam is, we're here to, try to lead by a good
Marry
example
some
and
7-year-olds.
spread the message of the Quran in the
Share more
best way
bread.
possible.
NASA's Artemis 2 mission, which will send 4 astronauts into orbit around the moon, has been delayed again and rescheduled to early April due to technical issues. This again. NASA's been working on Artemis 2 since 2019 at a cost of more than $50 billion. Come on, man. Get it done. Get it right. What happened this time? Jeez. All right. Well, we're at like 3:30 here, and I don't, unless I'm mistaken, I don't think we have anyone scheduled on Saturday. Yeah. So I suppose I'll just I'll take YouTube down and I'll just put this on. Because I'm out of material. I got nothing. And nothing else. Like Steph's still yep. So we'll do that. All right. Well, I guess that does it for me on YouTube. And I will be back for YouTube people. You can come over and keep watching with everyone on DLive and Rumble if you want. But otherwise, I'll be back on Monday morning. Right? So bye-bye, YouTube. Hope you keep watching on other platforms. Come hang out.